In this tutorial, you will learn the tips and tricks on how to get started with calligraphy. Calligraphy is the art of forming beautiful symbols by hand and arranging them well. It's a set of skills and techniques for positioning and inscribing words so they show integrity, harmony, some sort of ancestry, rhythm, and creative fire. The first step in learning calligraphy is by practicing your cursive. As a beginner, it is important that you practice the framework to know what cursive suits your style and aesthetic. In doing this, it will help you familiarize and be comfortable in doing calligraphy as you write words and as you connect letters. If you want to get started with brush calligraphy, you need to know the different pressures. In calligraphy, there are two main strokes that you need to be aware of: entrance stroke and exit stroke. The first one is the entrance stroke. The entrance stroke is a thin upstroke that begins or enters into a letter. It starts at the baseline and ends at the waistline. To create the entrance stroke, start by placing the tip of your brush pen at the baseline. Then draw a thin upstroke with a slight curve. The second one would be the exit stroke. Every time your pen comes down on the page, it's called a downstroke. These are done with heavier pressure and should be thicker. The next step is learning overturn, underturn, and compound curve. Overturn is the upstroke and downstroke combined. Starting with an upstroke, as you get to the dash line, instead of stopping, arch over, keeping in mind the pressure switch from light to heavy, and pull down with a parallel downstroke. Next is the underturn. This stroke is the overturn stroke, just upside down. So instead of starting with an upstroke followed by a downstroke, we want to start with a downstroke, and as we approach the bottom line, curve under to the right, and with light pressure, create an upstroke. Next stroke is the compound curve. This stroke is the overturn and underturn combined. As we're about to end our overturn stroke, we curve under like the underturn stroke, ensuring our lines are parallel with one another. Next one is the oval stroke. This is the oval stroke. Starting just under the dash line, we want to arch up and over to the left, coming down with a curved downstroke, and coming back up, closing the gap. Next is the ascending loop. Just above the dash line, make an upstroke slightly out to the right up to the top line. A loop over with a downstroke all the way down to the bottom line. Lastly, we have the descending stroke. Like many other strokes, this is also another upside down. With this stroke, we start at the dash line, coming down with a heavy pressured downstroke. And as we get to the bottom line, curve up to the left and loop back, closing the gap.
Hi, stranger.
After all these different strokes, let's now begin applying the lessons by writing down the alphabet. If you're having trouble using the brush pen, here's an alternative way. By applying the same principles or strokes, you can still do calligraphy using a simple pen. Start with writing down your words, then add a line to the downstrokes.
Just crazy.
If you don't remember where the downstrokes are, you can follow your word with your pen to see where the pen went down. We only want the downstrokes. Leave any sideways strokes or upstrokes. We want all of our downstrokes to be at the same angle. Lastly, fill in the downstrokes.